Serena Williams has had one incredible summer. She kept her third U.S. Open title without dropping a single set. Last month, she and her sister Venus won the gold medal in doubles at the Olympics in Beijing. She is back as the #1 tennis player in the world. I'm pleased to have her back at this table. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Did you ever have any doubt that this moment would come again, that you would be on top again?
I've always assumed I would be #1. I've always assumed that that's why I wanted to play so much, and that's why I wanted to play so well and have a good comeback, because I always felt like, okay, I want to be #1, and I have the potential to be #1. And it was never a doubt in my mind.
That you'd be #1?
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, after having been #1. And
yeah.
Listen to this quote. A combination of a pit bull dog, a young Mike Tyson, and an alligator. Have you heard that quote before?
Yeah, I believe that's the quote my dad said that described my personality, right? Yeah.
Is your dad right, or is that a little bit exaggerated by Dad?
No, he's right. On the court, I'm a different person. I'm really intense. I'm really hardcore, and I am like a pit bull, which I think is like really fierce and, kind of mean even on the court. But I think you kind of have to, like, just in sports in general, you do have to have some sort of tenacity that makes you, whatever it takes, that can lift you to the top.
Yeah, and if you can intimidate the other person, in a sense, who fears you, then that's part of the game of defeating someone, is it not?
It is, and that's just how it is. It's like you do have to have some sort of intimidation factor. Whatever the case, whatever it is, I think it's important to have it.
The last time we talked, you had all kinds of visions of things you wanted to do. Where is that? It's sort of life,
everything.
Not life after tennis, but life in addition to tennis.
Right. Everything is manifesting itself. Like I have my fashion line, which is a Nares, which I've been doing for years. It's all coming together. Just acting. I'm still trying to do that. But, right now I'm so focused on tennis because I enjoy the game so much. You don't understand how much when I walk out and to hear the crowd clap and to feel like, oh my gosh, they're there to see me and the person that I'm playing against. It almost is breathtaking. And I really enjoy that God has given me a talent that I can use in that manner.
Do you have any idea what your potential is? In other words, do you think you're playing at maybe 75% of what I could be?
I think that's a good number, actually. I really think that's a good number. I never felt, Charlie, that I reached my full potential. I always felt like I was halfway there, or that I was, on my way. I never felt that I fully got there.
Does Venus tell you where the weaknesses in your game are?
We talk about, like, when I'm playing someone, she always mentions, it's Serena, you need to do this, we need to try to do this. And it was interesting after the final, she was like, whew, you better be glad you weren't playing me today, playing like that.
she thought she could have taken you.
Yeah, on that day she probably could have. I don't think I played as well on the finals as I did in the quarterfinals against Venus. I mean, I was playing, I think, a lot better.
What's the difference? I mean, is it the opponent, the weather, the crowd, the what? You didn't feel good that day?
When I'm playing against Venus, I have to bring my A game. I can't show up and bring a B minus, a B plus. Yeah. I have to bring my A plus game. And, especially she was on a roll. She was playing so well. Had just won Wimbledon. So it was like, no choice.
Does your A plus game beat her A plus game? Or does her A plus game beat your A plus game?
It's a toss-up. I mean, I can't sit here and say that Venus is better than me. I have to believe in myself and I have to have confidence. And so I have to say that my A-plus game is better than hers. And I have to say if she was here...
It wasn't at Wimbledon.
I wasn't playing my A-plus game at Wimbledon, by the way.
By the way, yes.
But if she was here, then, she probably would say the same thing.
Have you grown closer over the years?
I actually think we have. I really think that we've actually grown closer. And we've just do more things together, and we talk more just about not only things on the court, but about things off the court. I think our relationship has just gotten a much stronger bond.
Yeah, a sort of a shared experiences one has may benefit the other.
Right. I think that the fact that we have gone through more than what we had in the past, it's been better.
Do your parents play a significant role in your life today? I know they play a role in your tennis, but are they also instrumental in terms of the decisions that you make as a young woman, but becoming very much, a mature woman?
Yeah, my mom is really instrumental in my life, especially off the court. She's actually really instrumental in my life on the court as well. She's kind of like the silent, killer who really gives me lots of strategy and what to do. She's a really good at strategic things. But off the court as well, I think she's a very smart person, a very smart woman that I would go to if I had questions about anything, about life, about relationships, about, something that I'm not sure of. I think that she offers some really solid and doesn't beat around the bush about anything advice.
You think about children?
Absolutely. I mean, I don't want to leave this world with, the little talent that I have and not, have some little offspring. I think that'll be awesome.
Can you imagine having the same kind of influence athletically that your father, and in values that your father and mother have had on you?
Well, I'm definitely
choosing them and saying, look, we're going to help you become a great champion.
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to having the more off-court values, because I think that's what matters most. I wouldn't know what exactly to do with the sport. I don't think I can do what my dad did every day. I mean, every day, not miss a day. I don't know if I have that in me, but I know that I definitely would want them to have everything I hope that I can carry off the court.
You ever talk to Tiger Woods about all of this?
No, I haven't. That would be probably a really interesting conversation.
I mean, because his father had a profound influence on him, and his mother had a profound influence. He started very young, and it was beyond the game. It was also about mindset. It was also about a winning attitude. It was about, in a sense, how you deport yourself. It was all that stuff, according to what I read. I have not talked to him about it, but it's the same thing. I mean, it's the same thing of somehow teaching someone not only how to play a game, but how to live a life.
It is. It's more than a game. I mean, it's how you play your game kind of describes how you live your life as well. Like, I mean, how I am, I'm very passionate in what I do off the court, and it kind of leads on to what I do on the court. I like to give everything 100%, and if I don't, then I feel like I can be the best at whatever I do, and if I'm able to give it, a full 100%.
Were you surprised at the retirement of the #1 player?
It was a surprise. What was funny is I saw in the locker room the day before she decided to retire, she had just lost her match. And she just had this whole blank stare on her face. She wasn't upset that she had lost to someone ranked lower than her, but yet she wasn't happy. And so when they announced her retirement, I wasn't surprised. I wasn't as surprised as maybe someone else.
Because you'd seen that sadness in her. But what was it? I mean, what happens? It happened to Bjorn Borg in tennis, as you know.
Right. You give, I think, so much of yourself in tennis, especially I started playing tennis when I was 3 years old, and some players, they give their whole life and not doing anything else. A lot of players don't finish school, and we were brought up a different way. We finished school, we went to college, we lived our lives. We have other careers outside of tennis in addition to our tennis career. So if something happened and I had to quit tennis today, I would have something else to do. I'm not too worried about, what's going on? I want to do something different. I want to live a life, because I feel like I've lived a great life, in my young life thus far.
I think you have.
I feel like I lived a great life.
And where do you put the Olympics in that great life?
Honestly, out of all the titles that I have, this is the one thing that I hold closest to me is my Olympic medals.
And walking into the stadium and the finals and
playing
all that.
with USA on your back, fighting for a chance to bring home a medal for your country, amidst so many, the elite of the elite, the best of the best at the Olympics. Only the top are invited.
Yeah. The thing that none of us can know, but you do very well, and Tiger does, and lots of other people, is it what it takes to be the best in the world at a sport or anything, but think sports. I mean, you see people collapse on the court, Roger and others. I mean, because it is so hard, it appears to me, to be that good, because the competition's tough, because the game can have all kinds of twists and turns. I mean, talk for a bit about what it is to win a major championship in a big-time sport.
It's a lot. I tell you, for my sport in particular, and I would imagine it would be the same for golf and just probably all sports. It takes a lot of
Swimming, whatever,
it takes a lot of mental strength I mean, like, when I'm in a Grand Slam, I'm on a whole different level than what I am in a normal tournament. I pretty much live in my hotel room. I study. I think. I spend as much time to myself as I can. I'm a recluse. You don't really hear from me. I'm just there the whole time for 2 weeks. And that's the way I win Grand Slams. I think everyone does it different. But most ones that I've won, I've done it that way. And it makes me focus. And usually after the tournament, I'm so mentally drained, I get sick. Because I put
Sick?
Yeah, I always get a flu or the cold after a Grand Slam. And it's like, but the ones, you know, if I'm in the finals of a Grand Slam, if I win a Grand Slam, if I lose like in the second round, I don't get too sick. I'm just sad sick.
Time to party or something and forget it.
Yeah, but because I think it's so much mental work and mental, I don't know, that has to go into it. Because when I grew up, and I think when anyone in tennis is growing up, you live to win the slams. You live to play 2 weeks of nonstop tennis. And like I said, it has to be the same for golf, too. You live to be a part of history and see how many Grand Slams you can actually win.
What's the weakness in your game?
The weakness in my game?
Mm-hmm.
Should I talk about that?
Yeah,
I mean,
I
you think
so.
someone's going to be listening? I don't like to talk about my weakness. I'm sure everyone knows it already. But I just think
What do you think you ought to improve? Put it in a different way.
Yeah, I would like to improve just being able to play A to Z the whole match without thinking about something else or without like letting my mind go. If I can
Your mind goes in the game? You're thinking about a movie or somebody you see in the stands or?
Let me tell you, I'll think about anything. I mean, like, I don't know why. Maybe it's just a new generation. Maybe I have a short attention span, but I think this tournament I've really been focusing on going, in which I actually, at the Olympics, it really helped. I was working with Zena Garrison and Lori McNeil, and they started me on this concept. They said, you know, Serena, you have to play. You are a good player. And I played this one match at the Olympics, and I lost to the girl who actually won the gold medal. And I only went from A to probably P, and I didn't make it to Z, and I ended up losing the match. And they said, you played a great set and a half. And I said, I think that was a good turning point for me. I said, you know, I have to be able to play 2 sets, not a set and a half, and that's why I lost today. And I wasn't angry after the loss because I felt like everything had clicked after that. And so after that, I've just been working on playing A to Z. And I didn't do it at all at the Open, almost. You know, sometimes I did still lose focus. But I think if I can do that, I can be really, really dangerous.
You are dangerous. Thank you for coming. It's always great to see you. Thank you very much for coming by.
Thank you very much.
And congratulations on an extraordinary summer.
Thank you so much.
Serena Williams, thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you next time.